Hey, what's up guys? Check up here with a quick vid. This vid I'm going to be going over how to deal with Deejay sway gimmicks as Manon. So some matchup stuff. I'm gonna also go over what I mean by sway gimmicks. But yeah, let's do it. Alright, so what I mean by sway gimmick is that Deejay has a special move where you can reel his hurtbox back, his sway. So a lot of DJs will throw out a negative move, and since you want to challenge back depending on the distance, he can sway backwards and bait out the normal and punish it. So let me just show an example. Alright, so for example, DJ's low forward is -6 on block. If you're close enough, you can punish it, but if you space it out, you can't really punish it. So you opt to use different normals, like a medium or a heavy, to try to take your turn back or do something to challenge him back at least, to keep him at bay. So that's when the sway comes into play. Alright, so if DJ is utilizing the sway off of his spaced out negative frames, he can catch you trying to challenge back with a medium or a heavy. So for example, right, I try to challenge back with a heavy, it gets punish countered. I can recover in time depending on what I throw out, but he's still safe to do it, right, in that situation. So the risk reward is a little more on his side if you're challenging back, because even if he recovers, it's -3, right, he's safe. And if he does catch something heavier, he gets a punish counter, which can potentially give him 30 to 40%, depending. Maybe more too, but yeah. So that's kind of where the gimmick comes into play. That's the gimmick. I'm gonna go over some options that you have as Manon to deal with this gimmick. Right, so luckily you can kind of OS Manon's light kick off of his spaced out normals when he tries to sway, because you recover in time, right? And if he's close enough, you can get a punish, right? So there are certain things you could do to punish this, right? I think the most consistent thing I found is the low forward after the light kick, when he spaces out other normals too. Low forward is really solid. You can use the overhead since it can punish a low, and it can punish the overhead as well. Let me go over that. See, it doesn't cause a punish counter, but it still can punish it. Right? You got a regular counter which you can still convert off of with a combo. And if he doesn't do anything, he would just sway backwards and he would just either block. I think he still has a lot of recovery to it, even when he does it just a raw, just feint. I think there's still recovery to it, so you might be safe to do that. But yeah, not 100% on that, but yeah. But you can utilize the overhead. The overhead goes under, right? You get a combo. Here, right? And it's decent damage too. When you have that as a starter, you can get decent damage off of that, depending on what you do. Yeah, those are the options. The most consistent I found is a low forward. You can even use heavy punch, right, if you want to. But those are some of the options that you have to deal with that gimmick. Alright, so you can do the sway gimmick off all the moves, and depending on what he does, you can't do the overhead, unfortunately. You can, that's why I say the most consistent move to challenge back after the light kick is low forward. Because depending on what he does, if you do the overhead after, it might not come out in time, right? So I found that the low forward is the most consistent at just dealing with this, right? See there? It's the fastest option to just nullify that completely, if you're fast enough, right? The thing is, DJs, it's hard because it's really quick. These things happen really fast, so you kind of have to just be ready, right? But if you're looking out for it, you can get a good punish off of him doing that. Alright, so you can do it off of this move, the heavy punch, but it's iffy though. Usually I don't challenge back. A lot of times when I block it, I kind of react late. Because if DJ catches that, like the maximum space, a lot of times not even ready to challenge back. But he can do it off of that, but usually I don't even like challenge back. But if you do, I think the light kick will usually stop. But just throw out the light kick, you recover in time, right? So it's still kind of safe to do that. But yeah. Alright, last thing I want to mention is that not to get too autopiloted with the light kick. It's very good at dealing with DJ players that abuse the sway, right? I understand that's the concept of the video, is that I'm trying to show you how to deal with it. But I just want to let you know that, or just remember, he doesn't have to do that, right? It is a good way of conditioning DJ players to stop doing the sway too much. And there are DJ players that are very hard-headed right now, and they utilize it a lot. So it's very good. But remember, he doesn't have to do that, right? He does have his own option to deal with you if you are pressing light kick too much. Like for example, if you're doing low forward and you try to use light kick, he can just do it again, right? Since he's spaced out, he can kind of just do that again and be in a position to anti if you try to challenge or you try to jump, I mean. So remember that he has options. And that's the thing I love about fighting games, that there's this endless mind game that's always happening, right? So it keeps the game fun to play at least at a competent level. But yeah. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching the vid. Hope you guys learned something from this, and that I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Peace.